Let's play Burlington's Guess That Price. Back to school means back to saving. We're bringing you kids' jeans starting at, hold on a minute, just $11.99. Burlington's acing this test. What about character backpacks? We've got them starting at $12.99. Burlington's done it again. How about sneakers for the kids? A-plus brands and right on trend starting at $11.99. Saving is now in session. Burlington, deals, brands, wow! Styles and selections vary by location.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, How to Buy Happiness, Part 1, by David Cain of Raptitude.com. While I was driving home from my appointment, I couldn't help but feel nervous that I would forget to do something. Peel the price tag off a thing I just bought in case somebody saw how much it cost. I pulled onto a side street and grabbed the plastic bag from the back seat. In it was a puck-sized container of a high-end hair paste. I scratched the little white sticker off. It was $35, and now only I knew. Some paranoid financial conditioning somewhere in my head had me thinking it had been an extravagant purchase. But I thought about it for a minute and realized that no, for what it does for me, it's some of the best value I'll ever get for $35. I'm 31 years old, and it wasn't until I started going to a well-reputed salon and buying $35 hair paste that I finally began to really like my hair. This was a year ago. My mop had always been a point of self-consciousness for me. I liked myself, but I never got along with my hair. It had evolved over the years from crunchy gel spikes to a number 2 buzz cut to a polite crop, but it was always a liability. I felt faintly uneasy about it all the time. That problem spread itself across many thousands of days of my life, taking a little, sometimes a lot, of enjoyability from each of them. Thinking back, I can't even guess how many completely useless $35 purchases I've made in my life. Shirts I've never wore, books I never read, drinks I didn't need to drink, restaurant meals I could have made myself. When I consider what it really does for me, this hair paste is an astoundingly good investment. One container lasts about 6 months, and every day of those 6 months, I feel good leaving the house, when it used to be normal to feel self-conscious. That alone, the sensation of liking the way my head looks, is worth vastly more than the 15 cents a day it costs me. And that's to say nothing of the endless secondary effects of that very inexpensive confidence. Smoother socialization, better posture, more attention from women, a more easygoing mood, and all the tertiary effects that arise from those improvements, and so on. Considering the real-world value it delivers to my life, this stupidly expensive hair paste is one of the most worthwhile purchases I've ever made. All purchases are investments. I have a pile of most of the receipts from the last 3 months of 2011. It represents thousands of dollars of retail purchases. Each slip is a date-stamped record of how much money I decided to part with there and then, and what products and services I got in return. $30 here, $50 there, and there are fistfuls. I can look at most and quickly identify the things that are no longer contributing any value to my life. Magazines I bought at the airport because they were slightly more appealing in the moment than reading the book I already had with me. Desserts I bought with my groceries because I went shopping while hungry. Unhealthy lunches I bought because I'd rather sleep 20 more minutes than make something to take to work. And dozens of elaborate espresso beverages that gave me nothing more than a 10-minute dopamine hit for $5 a pop. Each line item on those slips represent an investment. For each, I parted with money in the hopes that what I got in return would add something to my life, in the form of nourishment, ability, pleasure, or any other quality that improves my days. Some were good, lots were bad. When it comes to our money, we tend to differentiate between consumer purchases and investments as if they're functionally different. But they work the same. As long as there has been wealth, people have tried to grow wealth by investing. We put value into something with the idea that it will return greater value to us over time. When we're talking about normal capital investments, getting a 10% return on investment is traditionally the fantastic benchmark. Putting 100 units of value into something and getting 110 back over a year is definitely a success. That's not the area where we have the most leverage over our finances, though. When it comes to our consumer purchases, we can do way better than getting an extra 10% worth of value out of our money. All you can buy is quality of life. Making more cash with your cash is the idea of financial investments, but we're talking gains of a few percent over what you already had. By comparison, when it comes to consumer purchasing, the value of what you do trade $1 for can vary tremendously. 50%, 200%, 5,000%. Between the different ways you can spend $20, there is a comparatively astronomical range of possible return on investment. And that's because the value those purchases return isn't monetary value, it's experiences. I have a $20 bill. I can spend it on a few lattes, which adds to my life only a few minutes of actual sipping pleasure and maybe an hour of the mild feeling of security that comes with having another sip waiting for me in my hand. That $20 spent that way returns little else in terms of real value and also comes with some liabilities in the form of empty calories and coffee breath. The net value is less than zero. I have nothing to show for it an hour later except the needless calories in my body. Terrible investment. I could have spent that same $20 on 2 yoga classes and gotten real lasting value out of it. The type of value that builds more value indefinitely. Just the classes themselves are reliable oases of calmness and come with a rare sense of assuredness that I'm not wasting my time or being indulgent. But the bulk of the value comes in dividends in the days between and after the classes. I walk around with better posture. I'm slightly fitter and more inclined to do more exercise. Fewer moments that week are spent lost in thought. I get that mild post-exertion muscle soreness that I like so much. I get a persistent feeling of optimism that can be felt in many of the hours between and around the classes. Good investment. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled How to Buy Happiness by David Cain of Raptitude.com. Imagine you're a business owner who has to rely on a dozen different software programs to run your company, none of which are connected, and each one is more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one simple, easy-to-use platform, giving you peace of mind that your business is always being taken care of from every angle. Odoo has user-friendly open-source applications for everything. We're talking CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and everything in between. Basically, if your business needs it, Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? So stop wasting your time and money on those expensive, disconnected platforms and let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. It doesn't get much better than that. So what are you waiting for? Discover how Odoo can take your business to the next level by visiting odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
Wouldn't it be great to manage your portfolio on one platform? Well, now you can trade all in one place on Robinhood. That means you can trade individual stocks and ETFs and also buy and sell crypto using seriously powerful and intuitive tools at one of the lowest costs on average without needing to manage multiple apps. Robinhood makes withdrawing and depositing crypto seamless. Send crypto to your Robinhood account or send crypto from your Robinhood account to other wallets without deposit or withdrawal fees from Robinhood. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Network fees may apply to crypto transfers. Crypto transfers may not be available to all customers. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
I don't think being frugal is about never spending money. I think it's about living below your means and spending money very intentionally. When you do spend money, it's worth it to make sure you're getting an appropriate amount of value from it. For example, a night out at a restaurant could easily cost me $120. And not that I never eat out, but I don't do it often because I rarely feel that I'm getting the appropriate amount of value for this money. I usually ruin the experience by reminding myself that I could have made something better at home. Not to brag, but I'm a really good cook. And entertaining is one of my favorite things to do. I can save money and have a better experience by inviting my friends to my house for dinner. And that $120, I would much rather spend it on a massage. The value I get from massages is well worth the cost. I also think spending becomes more meaningful and intentional when we align it with our values. If you value quality time with your family, and yet you're allowing yourself to fall victim to the excessive consumerism that forces you to work more than you'd like, then your spending isn't aligned with your values. If your material needs were less, perhaps that would allow you to work less and spend more time with your family. Well, that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day and a great weekend, and I'll see you in tomorrow's show, where we'll finish up this post and where your optimal life awaits.